is the center of activity, of course, for everything that goes on at Entertainment Tonight.
You know what this movie's about?
No.
It's on my tie.
Only a gallon of spray today, okay?
Studios in Hollywood, California. Entertainment Tonight celebrates a decade of stardom with a special 10th anniversary edition. Here are your hosts, Mary Hart, John Tex, Lisa Gibbons, and Leonard Maltin.
Hello, everyone. Hi, you guys.
Hello.
10 years?
You know, I'm gonna knock something over. I know I am.
Really?
No.
We'll give you a chart for the silverware testes so you know what to do.
The short fork is over.
You start on the outside, work your way.
The only thing is it's not about eating. It's about 10 years of Entertainment Tonight, a real feast of our best moments, we hope.
And I cannot wait to relive some of this stuff.
Oh, I know. You know the stuff I love are the quotes that stars have given us over the years, and now, of course, they got to live with it.
Yeah, I remember Don Amici talking about retirement and winning an Oscar.
Exactly.
You know,
That's right.
There are a lot of great performances, too, and a lot of performances by people who are no longer with us, but we've sort of captured them on tape, which is nice.
Well, you know, the whole thing is about images and images that stick out over the past decade. If you ran all of the Entertainment Tonight programs back to back, you'd be watching 24 hours a day for 76 straight days. But we've collected some of our personal favorites and condensed them into some breathtaking moments.
Women, all in one band, who all have fear of failure. I want to thank you all for this award. I appreciate it very much.
I don't know what the Hollywood scene is. I wish someone would explain it to me.
A banker picks up the guitar and goes like this, and a rock and roller goes like that.
I want to entertain people, bring some type of joy, escapism, magic to the world.
We hugged each other a lot this week. And we kissed a lot.
This is so exciting. There are so many people out here.
I would like for this to wind up in top whatever and say that I rescued NBC.
I wanted to be the first black bitch on television.
Where's the beef?
Loud!
Holy shit!
I'm loving it. Living it and loving it.
I make you stiff and tense because I'm the only person in your life.
They keep calling it a landmark film. I hope that's what we're making.
Here we go. Everyone stay calm. Under the desk, under the desk. Pardon us.
Get busy!
I'm not a perfect man. I commit sins.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
I was fired. I was thrown out.
Guard!
Homer!
No!
We're in a rarely photographed room here in the Graceland Mansion.
fake orgasms.
See if you can hit my curve.
I wanted to hear the announcer say the Today Show with Bryant Gumbel and Deborah Norville, so that I would hear that I wasn't now a part of it.
This must be where pies go when they die.
At 5 years old, I will have had enough of public life, and I'm sure everyone will have had enough of me.
Oh, you got to say it's not viewers can get real shaped through.
We don't get to help you select. This is it.
Because select whatever you like.
So what did you finally select, Lisa?
I went with the black letter.
There was a rumor that you guys were going out, but you never went out, did you?
You believe everything in the tabloids,
I just
don't
said
you?
there was
No,
a
we
rumor.
didn't. We never went out.
Okay.
Well, look, when we go behind the scenes, we really see, I guess in this case, a lot is behind.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, Mary. Good clarification. Let's move on, shall we?
As you know, the most recognizable portion of E.T. is the theme song. It's been heard everywhere, and every time we all walk into a restaurant, we hear, which is very special. Don't do it again. And during this special, we're going to resurrect some of the renditions that helped to make it famous.
My fellow Americans, I would like to wish a happy birthday to Entertainment Tonight, their 10th anniversary. And is this on tape?
Happy 10th anniversary, Entertainment Tonight. You are the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Entertainment Tonight. It's their 10th anniversary, and there's nothing like it on television, nowhere look like it, sound like it. It's the greatest show on television.
You've interviewed me all over the world and in some strange places and circumstances, and you're always there, and it's sort of comforting.
When I think of Entertainment Tonight, I think about you.
That's embarrassing.
Wow, honey bunches of oats. He plays ball, she lives for cause, and Dad likes quiet, please. But when it comes to breakfast, our family all agrees. Honey bunches of oats.
It's the one cereal they all love the taste of, no matter what their tastes are. Because it's the only cereal that mixes crispy flakes of corn and wheat with crunchy bunches of honey roasted oats.
Honey bunches of oats.
A cereal your whole family will love.
Allison Denny thinks her trash bags are strong. Can I get her to try Glad drawstring trash bags?
No, absolutely not.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Allie?
Uh-huh.
Well, what if we take a Glad drawstring bag filled with 25 pounds of last week's garbage and drop it onto your house? Not to worry, Big Al. Those Glad trash bags have 3 strong plies of stress flex plastic, and those red drawstrings tie up tight. Now will you try Glad drawstring bags, Allie?
Sure, even though that's not my house.
Is this rope important?
Oh, don't do that. No!
Glad. Only the strong survive.
Got into that cat. What's got into that cat?
Great tasting Friskies, now with more protein than ever to bring out the frisky in your cat.
What's got into that cat?
Whoa, Mom, this isn't Kraft cheese and macaroni.
Yeah, I know. What? It was cheaper. I saved a few cents.
Mom, it's not the cheesiest.
What's the difference?
No, no, no!
Sam, come on, pal. Dinner.
Mom, you never serve anything but Kraft cheese and macaroni, right?
I wouldn't dream of it.
Kids love Kraft cheese and macaroni, and that's worth every penny. Kraft macaroni and cheese in new dinosaur and teddy bear shapes, too.
Boy, you know, the pictures are great, but the service in this place is lousy.
I know.
No tip.
Really? No, I think we'll stiff them. We'll stiff 'em tonight.
I've lost my napkin again. Rob Lowe and Charlie Sheen were high school students when we went on there. You don't think that they raised some hell and broke some hearts when they were students, huh?
Oh, figure it out. We kept track of most of it.
I know, pretty amazing.
I remember the first time I talked to Rob Lowe, though, he was still really shy about this fame situation. It's kind of sweet.
Well, you know, Rob is one of a number of the young performers that we've interviewed over the years. Would-be stars captured before they knew what the future held. It's hard to believe, but when E.T. premiered 10 years ago, virtually no one had ever heard of Madonna. It was in 1984 that the original boy toy started to make a name for herself, and we were right there as she made one of her first videos. Even then, Madonna had some prophetic words about her future.
I think I'm at the beginning of a very fruitful career.
Okay, action.
I'm out to do something, and I'm going to do what I have to get there. And I think I have a lot of confidence in myself.
Singing in the rain.
Singing in the rain.
An actress who didn't exactly exude confidence, but instead a genuine warmth, was Glenn Close back in 1982. She demonstrated her roller skating skills for our cameras, even braved some rain. Close was about to make her feature film debut in The World According to Garp and spoke of her fears and doubts about becoming a star.
Sometimes way underneath I get terribly frightened and terribly insecure and wonder what I'm doing here and want to have 4 children somewhere in Iowa.
That was then. This is now. A succession of strong performances and 5 Oscar nominations have made Glenn Close one of Hollywood's most respected actresses.
I told my mother I didn't want to be black no more. Black people didn't have no fun because she don't never go nowhere and she don't never wear no exciting clothes.
In 1984, a little-known comedienne took her brutally funny one-woman show across the country and ended up the toast of Broadway. We visited Whoopi backstage, and she was clearly overwhelmed by all of the attention.
It's like, you know, and it's great because it says to all these people I really like, you know, across the country, gee, you know, God, it is actually possible. I am Cinderella, you know, and the shoe does fit. You know, it's size 10, but it does fit.
That stage show brought her to the attention of Hollywood, and the following year she made her first film, The Color Purple, and was nominated for an Academy Award. This year she walked away with the Oscar as Best Supporting Actress for Ghost. Grease 2 slid in and out of theaters 9 years ago. Not exactly a landmark film, except it marked Michelle Pfeiffer's first leading role. We paid a visit to Michelle's house and found a thoroughly natural, unsophisticated 24-year-old in khaki jeans and a t-shirt. She showed us her secret passion, video games.
You're not pushing your aim.
I am too.
Oh, there it is.
During the interview, Michelle revealed how she came to the decision to become an actress.
College, I had tried a trade school and all of the, quote, respectable things that were good to do at that point, and being very frustrated with what I was doing. And I just took a real long, hard look at myself one day and said, what do you really want to do? And it was acting.
That was lucky for movie fans. Michelle is now an actress very much in demand. She just won the coveted role of Catwoman in the sequel to Batman. Julia Roberts is the celebrity of the moment, but when E.T. premiered, Julia was just 13 years old. It was less than 3 years ago a small film called Mystic Pizza came out, and Julia had her first leading role.
How do I know where I'll be 10 years from now?
We spoke to Julia at the time and found a giggly 20-year-old whose life, unbeknownst to her, was about to change dramatically.
I'm just the same as I was before I made Mystic Pizza and before it came out, you know? So, me as a person, I'm not really subject to change.
I love that.
Quick it all
Close? Does it
I
feel like she's been around forever?
It does.
I'm going to embarrass some of these people.
You know, they're never going to talk to us again after this. Right. Let's bring on the guys.
We have not forgotten the guys. 10 years ago, many of today's most successful actors only dreamed of stardom. One of them was beginning a carefully orchestrated climb to the top, and he put the accent on success.
Yes! In E.T.'s first season, Arnold Schwarzenegger was primarily known as a bodybuilder, but he invited our cameras along as he took some sword fighting lessons for his role as Conan the Barbarian. Arnold admitted at the time he had a long way to go as an actor.
I have to correct my accent as much as possible. I have to work on acting and on improvisation and on the understanding of publicity, how to publicize a movie, how to publicize yourself. It takes a whole package of things that gets you to the top.
And Schwarzenegger's career has been a carefully orchestrated one. This year, he realized his dreams as he terminated the competition with the year's top-grossing film, Terminator 2.
I'll be back.
Ready, set, go, fat, go. I know a girl whose butt hang low, she's flabby.
9 years ago, a young comedian whom we termed a hot new star was setting the tube on fire with characters like Little Richard Simmons on Saturday Night Live. Back then, Eddie Murphy told us he was going to be around for a long time.
I want to be like Bob Hope's age, and people still line up to come see my work. That's what I want.
When Murphy made the jump to film, he established himself in the 80s as a highly bankable star. But during our first interview with him, he had some advice for kids who hit it big.
Anybody that gets a break like I got when I was young, I suggest you go crazy and buy. I was just buying everything. My mother come and say, "Take out the garbage." I say, "Here's $100, Mom." She said, "That's okay. You don't have to take out no."
In 1983, Tom Cruise took a cruise with us down Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood to check out his larger-than-life mug on a billboard for risky business. The film was Cruise's first time out as the star of a motion picture.
I was ready to carry a film, but still, like anything, a lot of pressure. You know, I was scared to death.
Although Tom Cruise could have been labeled simply as a teen idol, the years have proven he does take serious dramatic chances, even earning an Oscar nomination last year for Born on the 4th of July. Patrick Swayze, the sexiest man alive according to People magazine, sat down with E.T. pre-Dirty Dancing and pre-Ghost. It was 1984, and he was starring in 2 films, Red Dawn and Grandview, USA.
You want to see nuts? I'll show you nuts. This is nuts.
The serious young actor had a lot on his mind, especially fears about his chosen profession.
This life can get very empty. It can get very... You can become very alienated and very lonely with people putting you up here in this place on this pedestal.
By contrast, it was a much lighter interview with the star of a new NBC sitcom. E.T. was right there in 1982 when Family Ties went into production, and by the second season it was clear a sex symbol, even one with a baby face, had truly been born.
I was walking down the street, and this little girl, she was about 15, she was with her mother, and she started crying. She saw me, and she came up, and she started crying, and she wanted to marry me, and all. She was weeping, visibly weeping, and I didn't know what to do. So I'm trying to calm her down and everything, and finally I looked to her mother for support, and her mother was weeping. And so I thought, I'm in trouble. Something is definitely happening here.
It's still happening for him, too.
Was he 5 years old there?
Isn't it amazing how success changes the way people look?
Oh, yeah.
That's the way they carry themselves.
Seeing him down here on the line. He used to be on the commissary a lot because
Yeah.
he was taping Family Ties here.
Yeah. We got a lot more revealing stuff just ahead. We hope you folks will stay with us.
Yo, Entertainment Tonight. You really made a big difference in my life. Before you came along, there was nothing good on between Donahue and Jeopardy. But now I can watch TV from the moment I get home from school till I pass out at night. God bless you. Happy anniversary, E.T.
Oh,
Kevin will certainly be there. So will Michael and Donna. This weekend, celebrate a decade of stardom with a special 10th anniversary edition of Entertainment Tonight.
I love your microphone. It says E.T.
It's an insider's look at your favorite stars before they made it. From the controversial to the spectacular, we'll look at the best in movies, TV, and music. It's the first 10 years, this weekend, only on Entertainment Tonight.
This weekend, celebrate a decade of stardom with a special 10th anniversary edition of Entertainment Tonight. Entertainment Tonight's 10th anniversary celebration this weekend. Entertainment Tonight's 10th anniversary celebration this weekend.
You remember show number 1?
They barely got it on the air, almost missed the deadline.
Who was on it?
Who were the hosts?
Well, okay, this is a good trivia question for everybody,
No one
actually, but
remembers.
it was Marjorie Wallace, Tom Halleck, and Ron Hendren.
Wow.
First show.
Nobody at this table.
You noticed that?
Maybe I've been around too long.
You watched it, though, when it went on.
Well, I've seen that show, and of course, it's a little embarrassing. It's pretty primitive compared to what we do today. But there were still good things on it. I remember Lana Turner talking about how she was not discovered at Schwab's drugstore.
And the actors from Hill Street Blues, they won 8 Emmys the night before and virtually saved the show from cancellation.
Well, there was one box office superstar on that very first show who's had tremendous ups and downs over the past decade. Since that time, he's given birth to a whole new career and life. His name is Burt Reynolds. I don't think we'd have a show without you. You know, you were on our very first show.
I know.
We visited Burt at the set of Evening Shade to take him on a little trip back in time to the very first Entertainment Tonight. On show number 1, Burt did a little field reporting for us, getting reactions from pregnant moviegoers who'd just seen his new film Paternity.
I feel like it's, you know, we're partners here.
I wish we were. The film was about a bachelor wanting a child. At the time, Bachelor Burt expressed a similar desire.
I would love very much to have a child, you know, and I'm not really sure whether I'd be very good at being a husband.
Aha. You've got the child, you are the husband.
Yeah. Well, I always loved kids. I was always crazy about kids, and always did want to have a son, a daughter, a dog, a cat, whatever. And Lonnie makes it very easy to want to be a good husband.
E.T.'s enjoyed a special friendship with Burt through the years, tracking his career from superstar days to directing at his theater in Florida.
This is the happiest I am in my life when I'm directing. I'm just totally immersed in it. I've become impotent, if that's possible.
Love that smirk.
Well, again, studied humility with Bryant Gumbel.
But Burt has gone through some rough times. In 1985, rumors he had AIDS were rampant. E.T. got the exclusive to talk with him about those rumors.
Gosh, I made a lot of good friends, and I thought I did a lot of good for a lot of people. And somebody, someone, someplace, is bound and determined to nail me.
Why?
I have no idea. That was a tough time because, well, first of all, I couldn't rush out and tell everybody that I wasn't sick because I weighed about 130 pounds. The most difficult thing was where to put your anger. You know, I mean, I had to put it somewhere, and it was real hard. And Lonnie was amazing because Lonnie, I remember, which I found this out later, that her hairdresser wouldn't do her hair. She'd been going to this hairdresser for 10 years, and he said, well, what if you cut your finger or something? And she didn't tell me. I only weighed 130, but I know I could whip a hairdresser.
Entertainment Tonight continued the friendship with Burt right back to the top. The capper came just a few weeks ago at the Emmy Awards.
Well, you know, all those pictures, Navajo Joe, they paid off, you know? I think the Emmy's for good work, too, but I also think the Emmy is for 33 years of a lot of other work and maybe a penny's worth of deliverance and a penny's worth of starting over and a penny's worth of loving a business that has been a little rough on me on some occasions.
Burt It's a guy who seems to have it all now, and while we were talking, we got a surprise visit from Lonnie and 3-year-old son Quentin.
Give her 5.
Hey, all right.
One of the main things that I found out about was that you can never, ever, ever hug one of these guys or tell them you love them or kiss them too much or let them pour drink all over you without being angry.
So Burt Reynolds' career may once again be in high gear, but it's clear where his priorities
You know what I mean?
lie.
It's just, nothing bothers you. You just become. Oh, that's very nice, honey. Oh, isn't that cute?
Oh, okay, honey.
No, it's all right, honey. We'll beat him when the show goes off the air.
For me, you guys, that is the true Hollywood success story of this decade. He's been everywhere and back.
Oh, yeah. And it's good to see him back and doing so well. Just your average family of superstars.
You can see there the guy has a wicked sense of humor.
I think that sense of humor saved him through a lot of this. He has a real good sense of himself. He really knows who he is.
Boy. Well, we're going to keep going with this show and lots of our own memories. Years of revolution, as a matter of fact. See Madonna, Whitney Houston, and others the way the world first saw them on Entertainment Tonight. Next.
Shortcuts from General Foods.
Hi, I'm Carrie Connor. You don't have to go out to enjoy frozen yogurt. You can easily make it at home. After this.
Waffles, Mom? Oh, not for me, dear, no.
They're delicious.
Yes, but look at all that syrup, dear. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
Come on, Mom. Live dangerously.
Living dangerously isn't what's kept me the same size as the day I was married.
The syrup's delicious. Really rich and mapley. Oh, and it's light.
Light?
Log cabin light syrup, Mom. Half the calories.
Log Cabin Syrup's irresistible maple flavor for more than 100 years.
For my frozen yogurt, puree 2 packages of frozen strawberries in a food processor. Add a container of vanilla yogurt and mix until smooth. Enjoy some now and freeze the rest. It's light and refreshing.
Shortcuts.
Another wimpy sandwich. Not me. I've got Vintage Farms Deli Loaf. It's got real sliced meat chunks.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and go.
Take a close look at Prego spaghetti sauce and Ragu Old World style.
Stop the film. Forget about close. This is obvious. Prego is thicker. See right here and right here. Big chunks. Ragu is thinner. Just say Prego. It's in there.
Right.
Introducing new Tylenol Allergy Sinus Gel Caps. Because allergies can be more than watery eyes, more than itching, more than sneezing. Many come with sinus pressure and pain. But the leading allergy brand has only an antihistamine. Tylenol Allergy Sinus has more. A decongestant and a pain reliever to relieve all your allergy symptoms. It's more complete relief. Tylenol Allergy Sinus. Allergy relief clear to your sinuses.
E.T. was a very important part of my career because when I first started making it as a choreographer, Entertainment Tonight was one of the very first interviews that I had done.
The ladies and I have taken a vote. We've decided that Leonard has not had enough to say yet.
That's right. That's right. Come on, Leonard.
Well, gee, I don't know what to say except welcome back.
Thank you, Leonard.
Have you here.
Get back to you,
Well
Leonard.
done.
Sure thing.
You know, as we look back over the decade, it's hard to imagine, but in 1981, rap music was still on the street. Compact discs were an engineer's dream. New age hadn't dawned, and country music was for country bumpkins. Well, now all of these, of course, are part of pop music.
Rap musicians are the stars of commercials. Rock hits are the soundtrack for movies and TV, and country stars are at the top of the pop music charts. It's a music revolution that began when the sights of music became as important as the sounds.
When Entertainment Tonight went on the air 10 years ago, you might have said, have you heard a song by so-and-so? Now you would also say, have you seen the video? With the rise of MTV, which went on the air just a month before Entertainment Tonight, music videos created superstars. At the top, Madonna and Michael Jackson. Back in '85, Jackson spoke of simple reasons for his huge success.
I just created and I'm honored that the public enjoy what I do. I couldn't explain why, the anatomy of why it happened.
He went backstage with Michael, even into his dressing room, but when he narrated his own E.T. segment for us about his world tour, he downplayed his influence on pop culture and was more the wide-eyed tourist.
The people are so sincere and so hospitable. Thank you, Japan.
With music videos, music stars had a new way to communicate and to sell records. They also more frequently sat down with the media, especially Entertainment Tonight. And when E.T. got an invitation to visit the home of a star like Paul McCartney, to watch him rehearse, or to sit and chat, it was an invitation not to be passed up.
It was amazing being part of the Beatles. It was great writing with someone like John Lennon. You know, I feel kind of privileged to have done what I've done.
And would Paul McCartney ever dream that one day a Beatles song would help sell sneakers? Here was a revolution in the way music's popularity was used to influence consumers. When we weren't watching music stars on TV, we changed the very way we listened to their music. It became portable with Walkman stereos and indestructible with CDs, spelling the end of vinyl records.
Break it down.
There was also new kinds of music to listen to. Rap music got Grammy recognition and soon had its own stars.
Yo, E.T. in the place to be, rocking from the bottom to the T.O.P. What's up?
E.T. gave exposure to new performers at the start of their careers. Among them, Cyndi Lauper, Anita Baker, and an unknown performer named Whitney Houston.
Whatever happens, sky's the limit, you know. It will just happen. I'm living my dream out right now. It's just part of it.
Sometimes music stars used E.T. interviews to address old grievances, as did former Supremes Diana Ross and Mary Wilson.
It is over. It's either she will be my friend or she won't. And if she chooses not to, it's over.
I never understood Mary Wilson was unhappy because I always loved her and she was my best friend.
In these 10 years, we've seen hard rock come back and country music grow in popularity, thanks in large part to stars like Randy Travis, who acknowledged that his colleagues have found a new way to reach an audience.
I think Entertainment Tonight's been a big help in country music's success, you know, the success that it knows today, because it puts the people in this business before an audience they normally wouldn't hit anywhere else.
Some people weathered the times with humor.
You got your hair platinum now.
I've had my hair platinum for a year, yes. It's the only thing that's gone platinum for me in quite some time.
And music industry veterans were often candid about their career comebacks.
I don't want to grow old on the stage and not be able to perform as what the people are accustomed to.
Some stars were playful interviews.
I always had a, boy, that's a big ring you're wearing. Gee, many Christmas.
Music did get serious and rallied for farm aid, the environment, human rights, and AIDS awareness.
Oh, that's what friends are for.
And we watched as famine relief was given new attention through music.
We are the ones who make the right day, so let's start giving. 1, 2, 3,
It wasn't enough for music to simply entertain us, but can music ever really change anything? Perhaps Bruce Springsteen said it best.
It's kind of a personal thing, but I think you can change people's, the way they feel about things, the way they see things. It would happen to me, so it must be, it's got to be able to happen to, you know, other people, something else too.
Quite a decade.
Yeah, the closest I ever came to experiencing that kind of frenzy in a stadium was walking out on stage with Michael Jackson.
Holding hands, you were. I saw that.
Because I was nervous.
One of the coolest things about this job is that you get to meet people that you've idolized forever. I've sat down with Eric Clapton, Sting, and all these guys.
And we'd never get that kind of access on our own, would we?
I doubt it.
All right, you know, when the stars go out to play, they certainly dress to kill. And we'll have 10 years of the hottest looks when we come back. dish, shall we? You know, when the stars go out to be seen, they have to wear something to stand out in a crowd, and that's where this whole fashion business comes in for us.
Well, Leonard, we've all been to the Oscars and the Emmys, but what do people end up talking about?
Well, not the movies, it's the fashion. What were they wearing? The gown, or that, where they get that gown? That's what they say. You know.
Well, really what happens is what they're wearing becomes a signature for their stardom. I mean, can you imagine Cher or Madonna showing up in a tweed suit? No way. They're always on the leading edge of what's vogue.
Ladies with an attitude, fellas that are in the mood. Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it.
Hollywood and fashion are as inseparable as Mr. T and his chains. So it's no wonder that over the last decade, Entertainment Tonight has followed the fabulous, the faddish, and the fun to find out what's in vogue.
It seems so silly for me to talk to you like this.
Yes.
And I want to sound like this.
It's an I'm back look.
It's a very outdated fashion statement.
Well, it is, if you really think about it. But let's move on.
Moving on to the most exciting runways for the ET cameras, the award shows. Whether at the Oscars, the Emmys, or the Grammys, it seemed everyone did what they could to look good.
The whole outfit probably cost about $50, at the very most.
These pearls Steven Spielberg gave me. I like the sparkle things on it.
Look at that dress. This whole thing? I said when I had this dress on, I felt like Linda Evans. And then I saw Linda Evans and I saw the difference.
Wearing absolutely no underwear.
We captured Sybil Shepherd in her 1985 Emmy Ensemble of evening gown and tennies.
My mother will never forgive me.
And we caught Whoopi Goldberg in her glamorous Grammy outfit of 1986.
I picked the only thing that didn't smell like I'd been outside.
5 years and an Academy Award can make a difference, as this year's Oscars proved.
Oh, it's very, very simple, Nolan Miller.
No one can make an award show appearance like Cher. Year after year, we breathlessly await her dramatically late arrivals, never to be disappointed. We even conducted an ET viewers poll and found out this was the look you liked best. Competing with Cher as fashion's biggest femme fatale is Madonna, and ET has not only tracked her fashions, but those of her wannabes. Glitter-gloved Michael Jackson has also had his share of fashion wannabes, and E.T. was front and center in 1985 when the Spangly Singer spawned this clothing line.
I'm predicting it'll be bigger than the hula hoop.
But stars aren't the only ones who have a major impact on fashion. Entertainment Tonight reported on the fad of wearing the t-shirt seen in Beverly Hills Cop, how Flashdance had the masses wearing ripped tops, and how Pretty Woman made the hooker look chic. But the biggest trendsetter of the decade was found on the small screen. Miami Vice, a show that had a nation wearing shoes without socks, t-shirts with suits, and pastel colors. Now, as we look at the fashion trends over the last 10 years, it's only natural that we look at ourselves. And while we hate to admit it, there have definitely been some fashion changes.
It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
Oh,
Maybe some memories we
I'm
got
not going for dessert.
So
I'm
long,
going
folks.
home.
So long. That's it. That's our show for today.
Oh, that was cruel.
People aren't going to believe we never saw that tape until just this minute, but that's the truth.
That was
No, they knew we'd never show up if they showed us that tape. Shame on you all.
Before I joined this show 5 years ago, I was a big fan of yours. I always wondered what those lapel pins were all about.
Well,
Is this have a story?
I've always loved them. It's nothing I adopted for the TV show. I just love wearing pins. Usually have something to do with movies or cartoons, and this is one of my favorites. It's Jessica Rabbit.
You wear them well.
Jessica in porcelain. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
we're mad, we're steamy, but we are going to come back. Hope you'll be back with us.
Let me show you how the educated consumer can tell the difference between my deli meats and Oscar Mayer deli thin slices. Now, you can't go by looks or taste. On account of they're both sliced fresh, real thin. But my deli meat comes in this beautiful white paper. See how nice you can write? But Oscar Mayer comes in this resealable bag. You can't write nothing.
Presenting Oscar Mayer Deli Thin Slices. Deli fresh taste without the deli.
Once you've tried something like this, you just don't go back.
After Johnson & Johnson created AccuView disposable contact lenses, there was one thing left to do.
If they would give away away a free pair, everyone would wear these.
So we did.
It's comfortable.
Just put them in. Boom. They feel great.
You don't clean them.
Visit your eye care professional for an exam, and if AccuView is right for you, you'll get a free trial pair.
That's all it took from me, just to put them on one time.
I get a little shiver just thinking about it.
Chilling fact, Tropicana Twister is available frozen.
Sounds like a snow job.
Frozen Tropicana Twister. Flavor combinations Mother Nature didn't plan on.
Well, if that wouldn't frost you.
Deliciously frigid flavors like orange raspberry.
Boys, we're gonna have to put this thing on ice.
Frozen Tropicana Twister. Flavors Mother Nature never intended, but should have.
That'll be a cold day in Tucson.
Hello.
Hi, what are you doing?
Actually, I'm having some waffles.
Oh, I love a man with self-control.
These happen to be Eggo Nutri-Grain waffles made with the whole grain. No added sugar, no preservatives.
Gee, Nutri-Grain waffles are pretty nutritious.
Yeah, and will you taste them?
Well, you mind if I come over and join you?
And let go, my Eggo.
Is that out of the question?
I'm, willing to negotiate.
Eggo Nutri-Grain waffles, also available in multi-grain. Presenting 8-calorie desserts. The 8-calorie cookie. The 8-calorie ice cream scoop. The 8-calorie candy bar. Or an entire dessert that's only 8 calories. Delicious sugar-free Jell-O gelatin with 100% NutraSweet. With only 8 calories per serving, you can enjoy a whole luscious dessert instead of just a bite. There's always room for sugar-free Jell-O.
There have been some sad moments for us, of course, these past 10 years since we've been on the air. We've said goodbye to a lot of good friends, a lot of great stars.
In fact, one of the, I think the very first star we said goodbye to was William Holden in November of 1981.
Such a big star, gosh, and such an honor roll since. So many of these performers have been special friends of entertainment tonight. They've opened their lives to us and their fans in the most intimate of ways.
Unforgettable.
The acting profession lost some of its finest, with Laurence Olivier heading a list including Ralph Richardson, Ruth Gordon, Rex Harrison, Geraldine Page, and the classically trained actor who achieved worldwide superstardom, Richard Burton.
Your necklace seems to be made of gold coins. Coins of Caesar.
Burton met his future wife Elizabeth Taylor while starring in Cleopatra, and with her made millions, on screen and even later on stage. But in an Entertainment Tonight interview, he described himself as non-materialistic.
I sort of force myself to get rid of things, because being too encumbered, I think, is a bad thing in this world. One should go through with just one's passport and one's name and hope for the best, travel light.
During E.T.'s first decade, we lost many giants among movie stars, like Cary Grant, Fred Astaire, James Cagney, Henry Fonda, David Niven, and the multi-talented Orson Welles.
I am the publisher of the Inquirer. As such, it's my duty, and I'll let you in on a little secret. It's also my pleasure to see to it that decent, hard-working people in this community aren't robbed blind by a pack of money-mad pirates.
At the age of 25, Welles co-wrote, produced, and directed what many consider to be Hollywood's greatest film, Citizen Kane. But his career never again reached those heights, as he remarked in an E.T. interview just 1 week before his death.
I am a romantic, and I was a romantic in the early 19th century way. I wanted every experience, every kind of thing, and so I went to Hollywood in that spirit, and I should have left in that spirit. I'd rather be remembered as a good guy than as a difficult genius.
Comedy greats we thought would go on forever left our midst this decade. Jackie Gleason, Danny Thomas, Phil Silvers, George Gobel, even Gilda Radner, who died so young. But few comedy performers evoke the feelings we all felt at the death of Lucille Ball. I Love Lucy has become part of our culture, our everyday life. E.T. kept pace with everyone's favorite redhead, and even recorded Lucy's own thoughts about the I Love Lucy phenomenon.
The identification that we picked up immediately, which not only there was identification with an American audience, but with audiences all over the world, we found out. They didn't have to understand the language to understand the predicament and the way I got in, the way I got out, and domestic situations are very easily identified all over the world.
Together, we grieve the deaths of such leading ladies as Princess Grace, the former Grace Kelly, Rita Hayworth, Ingrid Bergman, Greta Garbo, Natalie Wood, Gloria Swanson, Lee Remick, and the one and only Betty Davis.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Betty was always a good interview, and on one occasion she told E.T. how she managed to keep her feet on the ground even in the face of Hollywood hype.
I was so lucky where I came from. A good Yankee upbringing. No compliments in Yankee land, no anything. But that meant that there was no way I ever could have believed my own publicity and gone Hollywood, as they say, and gotten a large hit.
Entertainment Tonight marked the passing of musical legends like Ethel Merman, Benny Goodman, Irving Berlin, Sarah Vaughan, Leonard Bernstein, Mary Martin, and the man who could do it all, Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy never lost touch with his audience, and he told E.T. they felt a special kinship with him.
The nicest thing that happens to me is when I walk down the street, if it's Beverly Hills or in New York, just walking down 8th Avenue, man, somebody will say, "Hey, Sam, man," or the truck drivers will go, "Sam, how's Frankie?" You know, whatever. It's like a one-to-one, like I belong in their house, and that's a good feeling.
E.T. viewers feel especially close to people they knew from television. Stars like Donna Reed, newsmen like Harry Reasoner, innovators like Jim Henson, and enduring TV stars like Michael Landon.
Everybody all set back there? Yeah. All right. Kansas, here we come.
Landon made a commitment to positive family entertainment as star and producer, and audiences responded. He told E.T. this was the only style of working he knew.
We try to do as many shows as we can to encourage people to get off their butt, to read a book, to participate. Because it's an obligation when you make your living in this business to be that way.
But we're the ones who owe a special debt to Landon and all the others who left their marks on our lives. They will never be forgotten.
Wow, missed them one and all.
Yeah.
I remember when Michael Landon did a segment on Highway to Heaven when he had kids with cancer on that episode. And then the kids came on our show and gave their wishes, their hopes, and their prayers for his recovery when he was sick.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's a great piece.
Very touching story.
I remember getting choked up watching that on the show. You know, so many of these people seem like immortals. It seems like they should have gone on forever. And I feel really grateful that they did their work on film, and we can see those films forever, and that people can bring them home on video and have them forever, and we really need never lose them in that way.
Well said.
Mm-hmm. Well, we do have more to show you, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
I love your microphone. It says E.T. I see.
Okay, now, Leonard, you're going to start this. What has been your favorite moment in these last 10 years?
Oh, boy, tough to pick one. I think meeting Katharine Hepburn would have to be right up there.
Oh, yeah.
Lise, how about you?
Oh, racing with Tom Cruise. What a high. It was great.
I bet. John?
It was my first day here. I walked into a dressing room that had my name on it, opened it up, and Lisa was standing there stark naked. True story.
We have it all on tape. It's coming up. No.
And my feet were nailed to the floor. I couldn't move.
That's unbelievable. Well, mine is kind of pale by that. We bootlegged a camera into the Olympics at Calgary in 1988. That was Steve Skinner, our producer, and he's amazing. But that was fun. It felt so good.
All right, we got a guy who can remember all the great moments. John Machida can recall the history of favorite Entertainment Tonight moments at Guinness Book of World Record pace. So hold your breath, and you'll see all you've missed in 10 years.
It all began on a hot and smoggy Hollywood day, September 14th, 1981. But by the time the day turned into night, there was a new kid on the TV block beaming its way to millions for the very first time, and it was just what America wanted. Liz Taylor bedecked in jewels, Michael Jackson moonwalking with the llamas, tales of glittering premieres and scandalous romances. Dallas was at the top of the TV ratings, and Bobby Hagman was the first to take a walk with E.T. He did it on his beachfront in Malibu, turned on in an Indian headdress. Who shot J.R.? E.T. shot J.R. End in style. But style is what E.T. is all about. E.T. brought Peoria right next door to Hollywood, and it would never be the same. From the Phantom of the Opera to backstage at the Oscars, Music City, the Big Apple, Disneyland, wherever it was, whoever was doing it, Entertainment Tonight had the tickets and sprinted from event to event on $2 million legs. Along the way, Cher lost a few lovers and gained a few tattoos. Madonna married Sean, Madonna divorced Sean, Roger Rabbit got fame, Spielberg didn't win an Oscar, and something called Mutant Ninja Turtles had the kids turning green with envy. Shirley MacLaine dropped her top for charity. Kim Carnes made Betty Davis's eyes famous as if they needed any help. And skirts came and went and came back again. Stars home, stars businesses, stars bank accounts, stars of little or no accounts. Tasteful stars, a special galaxy of stars on edge and comebacks, throwbacks, letdowns, breakdowns, rehabs, prefabs, in formal attire, or in buff. Tonight has had them all. 10 nominations. No Emmys. Funny thing about it, the Dice Men cometh and went the way. Roseanne grew into her own. Johnny went home to Nebraska, and Jay Leno was taken over the desk. Sam Kinison, Jackie Mason, Whoopi, Billy Crystal, Red Fox, Chucky Green, Bob Hope, and Lucy, and Milty, and George were all asked hundreds of questions and sat still for it because America wants to know. What's your most embarrassing moment? Your favorite performer? Your perfume? Your new movie? Your wife or your husband? Really like? Clint made my day, and Ferris Bueller took the day off and had them all twist and shout down Main Street with a brass band. That's of the stars, autographs of the stars, sports teams of the stars, bands of stars and star bands, Stones, Beatles, airplanes, crooners and swooners, Bobby Soxers, teen idols, posers, processed hairspray bands, and the Daily Dose of the King. He's alive. He's dead. He's alive. He's dead. Alive. Dead. Alive. Dead. Alive. Live Aid, Pomade, Band-Aid, Gatorade, Smooth Talkers, Blunt Talkers, Shy Talkers, Quiet Talkers, and finally Fast Talkers. You know, anyone who had anything to say over the last 10 years said it on Entertainment Tonight. Happy anniversary.
There are 150 or so people who are not sitting at this dinner table who put this show together, the anniversary show, and all the rest of them all through the year, and we'd like to say thank you to all you folks. Thanks for making us look so good.
They worked their buns off. They deserve all the credit, too. You know, we've been sitting here with this lavish table, but this is sparkling apple cider.
Yes,
it's not even champagne. Because we're pregnant, we can't drink.
Absolutely not. But we do want to toast to all of you who have been watching for 10 years. We hope you're going to stay with us for another 10.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
We got the greatest gigs in town, and we know it.
Cheers to all of you.
Bye, everybody.
Her name was Mary. She's like a showgirl with all that gorgeous golden hair and those legs way down to there. His name is Johnny, and he's her co-host. They make an entertaining pair. Every evening on the air, they tell us all what's new in film and music too. From Manhattan to Monte Carlo, and from Malibu to the Copacabana, to rodeos live from Montana, from Madonna to Liz and Lana. Music and passion are always in fashion. Happy birthday, I love you too. And then there's Lisa with scoops on Liza. And there's no fault in all the flicks. Leonard Maltin always picks, and Pat O'Brien's great. He keeps us up to date on all the news from Atlantic City to the Golden Gate to the Copacabana, to what's going on with Ivana, Streep and Redford, Charles and Diana. Music and passion are always in fashion. Happy birthday, I love you too. Happy birthday, guys.
I want to say happy 10th anniversary to Mary Hart's Legs.
Happy anniversary, Entertainment Tonight. Hope you're around 10 more years. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
you've had a very bad day. There's entertainment tonight.
We still haven't got any service. Can we get some service here, please?
Waiter!
Can we please? Well, you know, we're going to be here until they turn off the lights. I know that right now.
Oh.
Well, there you have it.